Welcome everybody, welcome back to another rebuild, and this time we are going to go to Italy, where Udinese seem to be in a little bit of a bother, sitting third from bottom of Serie A. As you can see, 4 wins in 35, the second least in the whole league. They're just ahead of Sassuolo and Salernitana, but 30 points may not be enough to survive. They've got 3 games left. They have got a game in hand over Empoli, Frosinone as well. And they could get out of it. But looking on the form, it doesn't appear so. So we are here to rescue them and make sure this does not happen. Also, what brought me to them as well is they've never won the top flight league, Serie A. They have never won it. And also, they have not won the Coppa Italia either. So do correct me in the comments below if that isn't the case. And then my sources are completely and utterly wrong. Felt like this was a challenge worth taking. So as you can see, they had enjoyed the most successes in the 1950s. Now enjoying a 43-year barren spell of trophies and have not won a competition since 1980. They finished runners-up in the Italian top division once in 1955, so it's a very, very long time and the closest they've ever got. And I believe they lost to AC Milan by 4 points, I believe, in the end. So that's the closest they've ever come to winning the top flight title. They did finish runners-up in 1922 in the Italian Cup as well. And they have won the other tiers of football in the Italian football, as well as a couple of other international cups as well. Looks like we've got a fair budget, £7 million, which is quite nice, and a wage budget looks pretty decent as well. They are predicted to finish 13th. That's some way off where they are currently. Probably this is why it's not very attacking, is it? I don't like that formation, I'm not going to lie. Everybody behind the ball? No, not me. We will be adopting a different formation, that is for sure. Whether or not we'll still go with 3 at the back remains to be seen, but I would like to see something different. But then again, it all depends on the players that we have currently got. The managing director wants us to play high tempo pressing football. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. It's a little bit optimistic. Sign players from the lower levels of the domestic game. Okay, so they want us to look for young talent and bring them through. Sign players under the age of 20 for the future. Okay, I can live with that, but I don't know how optimistic that is going to be. Sign players to develop for profit, break even in the transfer market, grow the club's reputation, and work within the wages budget as well. So first up, money wise, 13-14 in the bank, 7 million transfer budget, the top end of the wages budget, so we may have to move a few things around. Any debts? They have got a £57 million debt though, of which they're only paying £250,000 a month. Okay, so that's doable. We don't need to worry about that too much. Do we need to work on the staff? More than likely. We may have to have a look into that as well. And more importantly, we've got a lot of injuries. So that our players, goodness me, let's go by well, let's start with age first, see what we're actually looking at. So we've got 5 players 30 and over, with our best player Roberto Pereira, Cambaselli as well, defender, looks okay, and the goalkeeper, that's 37, he's injured. He's out for 2 to 3 months. I'd say call it today and retire, my friend. Daniel Pedelli, I do apologise, but an injury like that, it's going to be hard to get back into the side. Although you are our third choice goalkeeper possibly. Okay, we have got a 23-year-old goalkeeper, which is quite good. And then if we have a look on the reverse, see what ages we have got. Youngest 16 with high potential as well. We've got a few players out on loan and a few players on loan. Oh, we've got Luca as well. If we could afford to bring him into the club, I would like to bring him in and establish him as a striker, our end game striker. And same with Ferreira as well. Wow, Portuguese, 22 years old. Definitely a team we could definitely build around. So looking at our best players there, Samodic. Wow, 21 years old. Cam, oh my word. Yes, please. Can you stay a bit longer? Midfield. Wow, okay. He's on the team sheet already. Goalkeeper as well, 23 years old, Okoye. Bit of potential. We'll see what he's about in the first season. We've also got Kamara, 29, left back. Pretty decent physicals. Thovin, 30 years old, right wing. Can play forward as well. We have got Buto, who's out on loan. Definitely when he comes back, he can take that left-hand side position. What contract's he on? We're not giving him away, that's for sure. Pereira, like I say, if we can hang on to him, that will be a very, very good steal. And a lot of players very much injured. 11 months. He's out for 4 months. He's out for 5. What have they been doing? 7 months. A lot of players out for a number of months. That's going to hamper us somewhat chronic, I think. So these are the sort of transfers that's been going on. So they're bringing Brenner from Cincinnati, although we have got a forward, but he's 23 years old though. We have got Luca, which we've got him on loan from Pisa. 2.6 million Pereira from Middlesbrough. Okay, 24. £2 million Davies from Villa, another forward, again decent, probably for a backup really. 4.3 for Christensen, centre back. Okay, 21 years old, 6'6", jump and reach. Heading's not brilliant. And who did they sell? 21 million Beto to Everton, of course, and Bechau to Fenerbahce for 7.25. And a couple of other players going as well, undisclosed. So that is something we are going to have a look at. Hopefully we can come up with something despite all these injuries. So let's go off to the windows, see if we can bring any extra players in. We have got £7 million to play with. See if we can offload any, if at all possible, and then we'll be straight back. There was no movement in the transfer market apart from next season. Lorenzo Luca will be a Udinese player. He is on loan with us this season. He scored 2 goals for us in 3 games already. He's going to be very valuable to us. And for 6.75 million, which was the agreed amount, and they did accept, and he has accepted as well. So next season, at least we're going to have our forward line sorted out for the remainder of this rebuild, I feel. Tactically, we are setting up like this. We have got a couple of issues with one position where 2 people can actually play it. Pereira and Samadic. Either one can play either way. So just trying out whichever way. I'd rather have Samadic as a cam, but I don't think Pereira can play. He can play there. In fact, they'll probably switch around because they can play in each position. I'm just wondering which one will be better, but I'd rather have our 21-year-old sitting there, the most important role in the middle of that park. So really happy there. We've got a lot of injuries, but this is our best 11 that it can come up with. And of course, Gerard Delafou, he is injured. He's out for 9 months, I think it is. 7 months now. He's not going to feature, I don't think, this side of Christmas, at least anyway. Thurvin, he is 30 years old. There was an offer for him, but for this season, I want to see where we get up to, get a higher position so we gain more money so we can enter the market next season and be able to replace him if need be. We've played 2 games in the league already. Salento and Brianza, a win and a loss. And we beat Palermo in the Italian Cup first round, which is quite nice. So we have gone through to the next one, which we will be playing Brescia. Currently lying in 9th position. We want to finish at least mid-table or top half. With the season preview, sees us drop below halfway. 400 to 1 to win the league. Well, let's defy them odds. As long as we don't finish in the relegation zone, I'll be relatively happy. So let's move into our first season and see how we get on. The first season has unfolded and we finish in 12th position, round about mid-table. It's probably where we wanted to be in our first season. We're definitely not in the relegation fight, that's for sure. And we stay clear of that by probably about 10 points, despite having a torrid last 5 games. Wow. But, AC Milan win the title, only just from Inter. Roma are up there, Napoli, Juventus and Atalanta. But ourselves, 11 wins, 11 draws, 16 losses. Not too bad. A plus goal difference, which is a very, very promising getting into the next few seasons as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. The season unfolded with just sporadic wins now and again, 1 a month by looks of things, until we hit January, February, where we go on a little bit of a run. 7 games unbeaten, including a win over Atalanta, a draw with Roma, Salernitana, we win 5-1. And Juventus, wow, we beat Juventus 3-1 at home. And then we just throw things away. A 5-0 win over Cagliari as well. End to the season, 4 draws in the last 6 games. And a win there as well. Yeah, games that I would expect to be winning at this point. Genoa and Sassuolo. Competition-wise, we're knocked out in the 3rd round of the Italian Cup to AC Milan. Only 2-1 though, so it was very, very close. And it was away from home. The eventual winners, Sassuolo. Wow, well done to them. beating AC Milan as well and denying them domestic double. Squad wise, let's have a quick look. Yeah, we were very shy on goals, that's for sure. Luca, 12 goals, which he will be joining us at the end of this season. 11 goals for Smodic as well, which I think I'm very seriously thinking of pushing him into the cam role now. Pereira, not too bad, 9 and 3, 6 and 8 for Kamara. I mean, nobody's really stood out, really, but Zamora, 7.07 average rating overall. That's not bad at all. Our goalkeeper, though, okay, it's not too bad. 45 conceded in 36. It could be worse. And we have our other goalkeeper, Silvestri, 11 conceded in 5. So there are pluses, and hopefully we'll have some players coming back from loan spells as well. So we'll be able to sort out the side, and now we know really roughly who we've got and who are good enough. We should be able to at least battle our way to the top half of the table. But in order to do that as well, do we have any money? £12 million. Wow, okay. We haven't got that in the bank, but we are overspending on wages currently. But £12 million, I mean, that could go a long way buying a player or two, possibly. But we'll see what we can do. So we managed to offload a couple of older players. Thurvin, he's gone. Lost Messina, Silvestri, Cambaselli, and a couple of other players going out on a free, and quite a few on loan. But all in all, we managed to raise £3.6 million, which, considering, isn't that bad. We did, however, make João Ferreira permanent deal from Watford. He was with us on loan last season. 33 games last season, 6.7, and already he's accomplished what he did last season and a lot better rating and in a vast shorter time. And as you can see, £7 million was the agreed figure. Luca we bring in, like I said, he was coming in on the 30th of June. I think it was 6.75 was the optional amount, of which we duly paid. I think he'll be here for the end game. Looks pretty good and growing all the time. From Real Hispales, for £6 million, we bring in a left winger. He can also play on the right hand side, which is going to help us quite a little bit as well. 18 years old. He's got high potential and definitely one for the future and one to watch as well, I think. He's played a game for us already, 3 off the bench, and he's not doing too bad at all. Also from Lazio, £4 million, we bring in another goalkeeper. We did lose Silvestri in the transfers out, so we had to bring in another one. And Maximiano from Lazio, I think he'll do the job. But £4 million, I think it's quite a bargain with high potential, and he's better currently than Okoye, although it doesn't seem that way. And finally from Cesena, Serie B, £2.5 million, we bring in a right winger this time. He can also play up front. He can play anywhere along the front line, which is going to be very, very handy if anybody gets injured. He's played 4 games for us already, actually, and scored 3 goals. I'm wondering where he's actually playing. I'm hoping he's playing on that right-hand side, because if he is, that's where we want him to be playing. Maybe I might have to lock him in that position. But 21 years old, definitely bringing youth players in. And he's got very high potential as well, which is always a bonus. So we have changed the formation slightly. We dropped to 2DMs, which seems to be the format that we like to go with recently. Although a couple of position changes in there. We have got complete forward with Luca up front. But if we pick our best 11, we have got Spendi on the right-hand side. Smodic in the left wing. Pafunde in the centre with Loric and Bijal. Yeah, we've got a very, very decent side. We've done reasonably well so far. 2 wins in the league already. With just that 1 loss to Inter Milan, 1-0 away from home. And that was right up until the 95th minute. So we could have got away with a point there. But we did beat Venezia and Roma. Roma we smashed 5-2. And we're through to the next round of the Italian Cup, where we'll play Frosinone. We're lying 7th in the table so far, 3 points off Inter, who obviously beat us and are 3 for 3. And the season preview has us climb a little bit. The odds have been slashed to some more, 250 to 1 now to win the league. But again, our aim is the top half, and then we'll work from there. So without any further ado, let's jump into our second season and see how we get on. Just look what a change of formation does. Wow, we have propelled ourselves up to 4th position and a Champions League spot. That is insane. Don't forget, Udinese's highest recorded position is 2nd, I believe, back in the 1950s at some point, 55 maybe. Wow, that is incredible. 10 losses though, 68 points. Only one off third spot in Napoli. We scored 63 goals. We only conceded 35. The two Milan clubs just running away with it, running riot. But Inter Milan literally ran riot, losing 3 games on their way to win the title. But wow, 4th position. And Luka gets the golden boot for the season. He also gets the best player in the league. Smodic gets 9 assists. And Luka, most player of the match awards. I mean, he's just dominated the league this season. He deserves more. He even beat Thuram and Osimhen to the golden boot. So the first half of the season, a lot of defeats. In fact, that's probably where all our defeats were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defeats up until the end of January. And it just probably didn't look good at that point. And then look at this. What a turnaround. Just 1 defeat since. We didn't concede a goal in the last 4 games. And we beat Napoli 1-0. Goodness me. What on earth? Parma we beat. Palermo we beat. AC Milan we thrashed 4-1. Lazio. I mean, I don't know what happened here. Whether or not they came back from holiday, I don't know. But that is just insane. Good for them. I'm hoping that's a big springboard now going forward. Competition-wise, though, the Italian Cup, we got as far as the quarterfinals, losing to Napoli 1-0. And it was the Milan clubs in the final with AC Milan taking it, denying Inter the domestic double. But you can see we were all the way down 12th. I think 12th was the lowest we got to, but then we climbed ourselves out of trouble and into the top half. I expected top 10, but wow, inside the top 4. Luka, 28 goals and 6 assists. Brilliant for the 24-year-old. I did say he was going to be our end game striker, and I do believe that is going to be the case. Spendy as well, 22-year-old. What a bargain. I think it was £2.5 million. 8 and 8. I'm assuming he played out on the right-hand side. Smodic, 6 and 11. I'd like to see him do a little bit better than that. Diao, 19-year-old. Did he play on the left-hand side? 4 and 6. I mean, there's not a lot happening with everybody else. Our goalkeeper there played a massive part. Maximiano, 40 goals conceded and 42. 12 clean sheets, which is pretty good. And there's a lot of players that didn't get any game time whatsoever. Okay, now we're in the Champions League. How much money do you think they're going to be giving us? Not a lot. And somehow we're broke. Okay, £6 million doesn't seem an awful lot to try and improve the side a little bit more, but we'll give it a go. Welcome back to the transfer window. So we've managed to sell £5 million worth of players. We've lost Delafu, Kamara, Success, Quina, Gianetti and Davis. They have all gone for a combined total of £5 million. The first one being from Juventus, £4.3 million. Coney De Winter, centre back, 23 years old. Looks pretty decent actually, 6'3", pretty quick, can head the ball and jump and all that sort of good stuff. He is our third rated centre back, but João Ferreira, he is our right back, so he's probably our second best currently, and he's got a bit of potential about him as well. And we raided Juventus again, this time for a left back, £4 million, bags of potential. Look at them stats, not bad for a 19-year-old. We've actually locked this guy in. It's David Bottisaggi. I think he looks superb actually, to be honest. We have also got Zamora and Bosse and Buta that can play there, but to be perfectly honest, if we can get him up to a 3-4 star by the end of this rebuild, I think that's job done. He looks phenomenal. 19 years old with them stats already, and he's improving. I think £4 million, quite a bargain. So we've switched up the formation yet again. Despite having a really good season last season, I didn't realise we had an resurgence from Profundi. He's going to be into our cam. We have got Samadic into the central midfield position. So if we pick our best 11, Samadic is there, Profundi is in the cam role, and we've got two young wingers, Luca up front. I mean, our side is pretty young, and as you can see, Mbos and Zamora are taking up the positions of our two new players, so we're going to have to lock them in. So far, so good. Genoa, we drew 1-1. Sassuolo, we beat 2-0 thanks to goals from Luca. And Roma, we win 3-1. Champions League, we have been drawn against Sparta Prague, Fenerbahce, Manchester City, Napoli, Bilbao, Salzburg, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. I like to think we can progress if we can beat the lesser teams in this group. We are lying in 4th position, 7 points, 2 points off the leaders Inter, Juventus and Napoli. As far as ratings go, we're 26th in this group out of 36. It's going to be close to qualify, and odds have been slashed some more, 50-1 now to lift the league title, with our media prediction of finishing in 9th position. So let's go ahead and simulate our 3rd season and see if we can cause a little bit of bother at the top. We finished in 5th position at the end of season 3, just a point off 4th place AC Milan and 3 off Napoli in 3rd position. We're getting closer. We got more points than last season, yet we finish a place further down. Maybe too much emphasis on the Champions League, maybe. But we do qualify for the Europa League, where we may stand a chance, fingers crossed. But either way, it's another top 5 finish for the 2nd season on the bounce. So following on from last season, where we had a good run of wins towards the end, we carried it on with a few more, but again, a lot of sporadic losses in there, like AC Milan, Inter Milan. Yeah, the Milan teams seem to be battering us all the time, though, to be fair. Parma we beat 2-0, Lazio 2-0, so we are beating some of the other bigger teams. Juventus we even beat 2-1 away from home. A 4-0 win over Genoa. We lost in the reverse fixture to Juventus there, 1-0. Empoli 0-0. Lazio 1-1. I mean, they're not bad. It's not great, but the losses aren't emphatic, which is good to see. Competition wise, we'll start off with the Champions League. We got knocked out in the league phase, which we were probably predicted to finish, was it 25th, 26th, I think, just outside the qualifiers. But in fact, we finished 30th with just a 1 victory, and that was over Sparta Prague. We drew with Bilbao and Man City, which isn't too bad, but we lost to Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, Salzburg, which I expected to win, Napoli and Fenerbahce, again another team I expected to win there. 5 points in total, 2 off for qualifying spot, but it's not really good enough, is it really? The Italian Cup, we get knocked out by AC Milan, 1-0. Again, another close call there, but 1-0 all the same. And then Inter do it to us in the Super Cup in the semi-final there as well. So I don't think we'll end up playing the Super Cup next season because we finished outside the top 4. It's disappointing on all fronts, really. We didn't really cause a dent in any competitions. Maybe the quarter-final in the Italian Cup, not to get out of the group stage in the Champions League, is a little bit disappointing. But hopefully next season we may have a bit of a chance in the Europa League. Squad-wise though, Luca, 17 goals this season, not great. Perfunde, 9-4, again not brilliant. Spendi, doing okay, 9-5, 8-5 for Diao, 5-7 for Mladic. It's not been brilliant play, has it really, to be fair? What did our young left back do? In fact, he looks really good there. 11 assists, my word. Okay, let's have a look, see what money we have got for next season to improve the side. Ooh, £25 million. Okay, so the money from the Champions League has helped us a little bit then. We have got 35 million in the bank, so we're not going to go overdrawn by spending. And if we do sell anybody, we get 100% of that money as well. And we have got a bit of wiggle room in the wages budget, so it should prove to be a good summer. Right, going into season 4 now, we make a couple of more sales. Wallace has gone to Valencia now for £9.5 million. We also lose Zamora for 5.25 to Leeds. Vigo pick up Emboss for 1.6. Pereiro, he goes to Racing Club for 1.9, and Zarago goes to Armeens for 325,000. A couple of others going on free and a couple on loan as well. That collected about just under £18 million to add to the budget. Contracts needed renewing. That didn't go very far, but we did bring in a couple of players though. First up from Nice for £20 million. I think it's the most we've ever spent on a player in this rebuild. Probably because we lost Wallace, we needed another midfielder, and I think he's an absolute improvement. And at 24 years old, and he's Italian and he's homegrown, which fills our quota. His mentals look really nice, and physicals apart from jumping. Wow, he's fit. He's got good stamina as well. He can run. What more do you want in that midfield? From Atalanta for £7.5 million, a little bit excessive, but we pick up a 20-year-old midfielder. Bags of potential. Stats look really good already, and we're going to give him a run in the team this season to see if he does improve. We did it with our left back last season. We want to see if we can do it again, this time with another midfielder. And finally, from Lazio for £6 million, we bring in a defender, Lorenzo Parola. Again, lots of potential. Physicals look nice as well, and he seems to be well suited for that centre-back option. He can also play at left-back as well, considering we let go of quite a few left-backs. That will come quite handy if needed. So we're going back to the 2DM, which seems to be the better formation. And we've gone with the 2 ball-winning midfielders, one on defend, one on support. I'll see how it goes. Not usually played with 2 roles virtually similar. Put in Medicino straight off the bat. Like I said, we'll want to see him improving. But if we pick our best 11, he is in the side, but he does go over to a defensive role. But I want him in a supportive role, which seems to be his favourite position. And everywhere else is where I would expect players to be. So far, so good. Friendlies were quite exciting. Then we started a league campaign against Juventus with a nice 2-1 victory away from home despite a late goal by Kone for Juventus. We drew with Bologna and then drew with Inter as well. Even more impressive. And that one we went ahead as well. The Europa League, which we have fallen into, we play AIK, Sturm Graz, BRG, Lille, Stuttgart, Ferencváros, Frankfurt and Besiktas. I would expect to get out of that group quite comfortably. We are lying in 8th position so far, but we are unbeaten. So we'll hang on to that for the time being. And in the Europa League, we're actually... Well, it looks like we're seeded 23rd. I expected to be a bit higher than that actually. Lazio are 11th. Sevilla 7th, Real San Sebastian number 1, despite Newcastle being in there and Monaco. I think we've dodged a bullet with some of these. Right, let's go into our 4th season and see if we have any joy this time round. Well, changing back to 2DMs has done us a world of good. We finished in 3rd position ahead of Juventus, Napoli and Atalanta, which is phenomenal. Lazio just escaped relegation by goal difference. Wow, what on earth has happened to them? They did draw an awful lot of games, but 18 losses in 38. Oh my word. 70 points. We did have a good run in. Same with Fiorentina as well. We managed to get into a Conference League spot, but we managed 57 goals, which isn't a lot. 32 conceded, which is quite good, but 70 points. But we only lost 8 games this time round. I think that's the least we've lost in this rebuild so far, so that's phenomenal. We're on our way to at least claiming a 2nd spot, our highest ever position in the top flight. Once again, we start off quite well. A lot of draws in there, a few losses. Rosinone, we lose 4-2 and 1-0 to Napoli. We do get ourselves back on track again with a 2-1 victory over AC Milan there. Wow, we're beating the Milan teams finally. Juventus, we win 2-1. Silly games like Sassuolo and Genoa, losing games there. Bologna maybe. Lazio we win. Nothing massive though. 3-1 win over Fiorentina. 3-1 over Spezia. Again, some more draws. And then the last 5 games, Palermo, Salernitana, Sassuolo, Lazio and a smashing of Salento as well. Helped us gain that 3rd position, which I'm really happy. And just look, we went 3.5 months unbeaten towards the end of the season. That's phenomenal. I think we only lost 3 games this side of Christmas. And we have won our first European trophy with a 1-0 extra time victory over Monaco in the final. That is absolutely phenomenal. Our first European trophy with a goal from Diao. They weren't playing that well though, to be honest. A 118th minute winner. De Winter down that right hand side. Bijou with the ball into Diao and does a lot of work and manages to outdo 3 Monaco defenders. And he does get a 7.7. I don't think he got man of the match though. The league phase we finished in 7th position. 5 wins against Besiktas, Ferencváros, Stuttgart, BRG and AIK. We did draw with Frankfurt and Sturm Graz and we lost to Lille. And we had a plus goal difference and 17 points. It was Monaco actually who would be in the final. 8 for 8. And Lille was unbeaten as well. And so was Frankfurt. The round of 16 we played AZ. We beat them 4-2 over the 2 legs thanks to a 3-1 second leg victory. Quarterfinals we played Basel and we only just go through 2-1. thanks to a 2-0 first leg victory, which probably looked like it was away from home. Semis, we beat Frankfurt 2-1. So again, another close call with Monaco just storming their way through. The Italian Cup, though, we get as far as the semi-finals, losing 3-2 to Napoli. We could have found our way into the final, although Inter demolished Atalanta, and the final was won by Inter 2-1. But not to take it away from the lads, finished third, semi-final in the Italian Cup, but we win a Europa League. Either way, we will be in the Champions League next season. What has our squad done? So Luca, he seems to be dropping off a little bit. 23 goals and 3 assists. He's now just a 3-star striker now. But look at Profundi. My word, 17 and 10. Spendy, 16 and 10 for him as well. Diao, 10 and 9. Smardic, 9 and 14. Our young 20-year-old DM, which we brought in, Mendicino, 3 and 2. Not bad. And he played 54 games. And he has gone up a bit as well. Bove, how did he do? 3 and 4. So he is getting up and about as well. And our other left back that we had in last season looks pretty good as well. 2 and 2. We would like to see him do a little bit more assist-wise. So we'll have to have a look at the roles that we're giving them. A goalkeeper, Maximiano, 46 conceded, 21 clean sheets. Just what you want to see. So next season, for the final season, what are they giving us to improve the side? Another £25 million and a little bit of a boost in the wages budget as well. The transfer window didn't go according to plan. We lost Perez, our centre-back. £24 million. Liverpool must have got a release clause or something on him. I don't know, but I didn't notice it. And yeah, he's gone there. £24 million. It's an awful lot. I wouldn't have accepted it had I known. But yeah, we lose our best centre-back. Also goes is Benkovic, Semedo, and a few others out on loan as well. So we're just offloading some of the other players that are not getting any game time and just fringe. However, that did allow us to bring in Samuel Ricky from Torino for £22 million. Superb defensive midfielder option. We have got Bove, we have got Medicino. I just felt we needed somebody else in there as well. Lovric can play there, but I don't think he's as good. And we were just a little bit light considering we're playing 2 in midfield. From AS Roma for £15 million, the money that we got from Perez, we invested in Diego Coppola, 23-year-old Italian centre-back. Yes, another homegrown player. I think there's a theme we're trying to get homegrown players in because we seem to be a little bit short of them, and they're a commodity in this division. So if you need them, you can sell them for a high price. I think he's a perfect fit for the centre-back role. 6'4", can jump and head the ball as well. I think yes, he can. And finally, for £10 million from PSG, I've decided to bring in another right back. We have got Ferrero, but he's not progressing as well as I would have liked. So we're bringing another right back. We tried to offload João Ferreiro, but nobody was biting, surprisingly enough. They wanted him out on loan, but not to buy him. So he's still at the club. Missouri's come in. I'm guessing he'll just get some game time, hopefully. He's had 6 already, though, by the way. And he's doing pretty well with 2 assists and 1 goal. That's quite impressive. A final look at the squad. We have changed a few roles. A DLP, a ball winner. We've gone complete wing back on 1 and 2, both inside forwards now. And if we pick our best 11, this is what it shows up. Missouri's in there, Coppola's in there as well, which is good. Profundi, Smardic, Luca, Spendi, Ricky, Bove. I mean, it's a side that we've literally changed the full 11, apart from Profundi, Spendi and Smardic. Okay, so not maybe the full 11. And we played Real Madrid in the Super Cup, and just look what unfolds. We go behind after 67 minutes. I mean, that's how long it took us to for the deadlock to be broken. But we do fight back. Bove with the wonderful strike. Deflection in to make it 1-1. We do go ahead then. We hold on for a bit. And it's a good crossing as well. And a wonderful goal by Luca. Rises above everybody else and nods it in. But Real Madrid, being Real Madrid, do not sit back. And they come back at us yet again. Another deflected goal in there, Kuna. But in the last couple of minutes, it's an own goal. I mean, that's a wonderful goal. What can I say? We've just won the Super Cup. We beat the Champions League champions of last season. How good is that? So we win the Europa League and now we've won the Super Cup. This club finally is going somewhere and they're starting to pick up some major trophies. Confirmation there, 3-2 after extra time. But in the league, we beat Empoli 5-1. We did lose to Napoli at home, but we did beat Frosinone and Salento and Salernitana as well, quite convincingly. The Champions League for this season, we have been drawn against Basel, Ajax, Liverpool, who have got Perez, Inter, Copenhagen, Monaco, Arsenal and Leverkusen. That's going to be quite difficult, I think. We are lying in 4th position. 3 wins and a loss, 3 points behind Napoli. And we did win this other competition as well, the European South American Club Challenge. We won that 6-0 against Argentinos Juniors. I mean, another trophy. That's 3 trophies we've won. I don't even know anything about this. So past winners of this competition, FLA, Newcastle, SAN and Independiente de Val. I mean, we'll take it. It's another trophy. Looks like we are seeded 29th. Seeding doesn't seem to bode well for us in the Champions League. Confirmation of the Super Cup win. And for the final time, let's have a look where we are predicted to finish. Ooh, okay. We have been dropped into 5th position. We're probably a top 5 team now. If we can remain there or higher, that would be fantastic. The goal really would be to win the league or get at least a 2nd spot. So that would be amazing if we could do that in the final season and see if we can pick up any other trophies along the way to match our Europa League, the Super Cup and that American Cup as well. So let's go ahead and simulate our final season and see what we get up to. And there we have it, folks. We have won our first Serie A title. We have won our first top flight title, Udinese champions of Italy. That is phenomenal, and what a massive improvement from previous seasons. 93 points despite losing our second to last game. Only 5 losses this season against Atalanta, Juventus twice, Roma and Napoli. Napoli coming close, but still 9 points off us in the end. Juventus 3rd, AC Milan, Inter in 7th position, Lazio in 8th. Any of the other bigger teams? No. Empoli, Parma and Palermo all going down. But we amassed 92 goals and only conceded 27. That is absolutely brilliant. It goes to show that having a decent setup in the first place really does work. Trusting in the youngsters as well, I guess. Luca finishes 1 goal behind Martinez of Inter in the race for the Golden Boot, but Profundi and Shependi, best players in the league. Smodic and Profundi have 11 assists each. Luca, most player of the match awards. Maximiano gets 19, joint with Keller of Juventus for clean sheets as well. We've had a very, very good season. But let's go and see if we won the Italian Cup. That will really be the icing on the cake. And no, we got knocked out by AC Milan in the quarterfinals. 1-0. Wow. Unbelievable. So close. Who went on to win that one? It was Napoli, 1-0. The Super Cup, we got knocked out by AC Milan again. This time 1-0 after extra time. Inter going through to the final. The Super Cup we know about. The Champions League, however, how did we do? Round of 16, losing to Juventus. I don't think we beat Juventus at all this season, have we? But the round of 16, 2-0. The second leg victory after a 0-0. Wow. Okay, we got out of the group stage, which is good. We did get to the round of knockout round, so we must have finished outside the top 8, beating Leverkusen 6-3. Well, let's have a look at the league phase. We did finish in 18th position. 3 wins. Monaco, 5-2. Copenhagen and Basel. We did draw with Leverkusen and Liverpool, but lost to Arsenal, Inter and Ajax. All very close though. Done really well, and we've been on all fronts this season as well. But more importantly, it looks like we once we got to the top of the table, we stayed there. We'll just have a look of our run in the league, and it looks really good. We lost our first game. We lost to Juventus there, and in between time we've just annihilated everybody really. Juventus was the only other one we lost to, I guess. AC Milan we beat 1-0. See, we could beat them in the league, but we just couldn't beat them in the cup competitions. Inter we beat as well. Napoli we won 5-0 against Salernitana. Couple of losses here, but beat Parma, Cagliari, Sassuolo with a run of 6 wins on the bounce there, including a win over Lazio, Torino and Inter In fact, we smashed Inter. Empoli we smashed, Palermo, and then Atalanta we lost towards the end. But other than that, it's been a really impressive season. Squad-wise, which seems a little bit trimmed, which is pretty good though. It's where you want to be. You don't want to have too many players in there. But 32 goals for Luca. He's finally, I think, reaching his potential. And 3 assists. 21 and 14 for Profundi. 18 and 12 for Shapendi. 14 and 4 for Diao. 9 and 12 for Smodic. David, our left back, 12 assists. That's exactly what we wanted him to do down that left hand side. Both with 4 and 2. 4 and 8 for Ricky. 13 assists for Mizori. Wow, he really is pretty good, isn't he? Ferreira, did he feature at all? Not so much though. But our goalkeeper, Maximiano, 44, conceded in 54 with 24 clean sheets. That's impressive. Just out of interest, finances, well, they bumped it up a bit as well. And still got £49 million worth of debt, and it's going to take ages for them to pay that off. Staffing seems to have improved one hell of a lot. We have got the best training staff getting there on the recruitment and medical. But it is good to see the Serie A win, the Super Cup win, the Europa League win, even the South American Club Challenge win. I mean, we've won 4 trophies in the past couple of seasons now, and that is absolutely superb. What a turnaround. And let's have a look and see if we broke any records. As per usual, highest league position is this season. It's the first time they have won the Serie A. Absolutely superb. Most points in the season, 93. Most league wins in the season, 30. Fewest draws, 3. Most league goals scored, 92. I mean, we've had a phenomenal record-breaking season, that's for sure. Highest gate receipts, just over £1 million against Liverpool in the Champions League. Highest average attendance, 23,000 almost. Luca, most goals in a season, 32. Superb. Highest average rating, Luca, 7.39. Most assists by players, Smodic, 14. Most clean sheets, 24, Maximiano. Luca, most player of the match awards. I mean, it's just going on and on. Most matches won in a row, 9. Most matches without scoring, 3. Not a record you want to have, but most matches without conceding, 4. And our highest transfer fee paid was for Ricky for £22 million. So we'll just feast our eyes on this. It's been an absolute phenomenal rebuild. Totally different tack that I usually take. I don't normally rely on youngsters or give them a chance, or maybe 1 or 2, but we had quite a few in this side, namely Spendi and our left back. I cannot pronounce his name, I do apologise. And also the midfielder as well that we had in for a season or 2. Like I say, I've really enjoyed this rebuild. It's been really good to build, and to get their first top trophy is phenomenal. So if you did enjoy this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so. It's one of the best ways to support the channel. And until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.